Shirts and pants. Holy shirts and pants. It's a little corny and obvious, but...
And boom, we're live, folks. Welcome to the American Movie Podcast. Today, we're going over... This was a crazy book. David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. So David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me is about this man who is just... He's a machine, okay? But his motif is that he is no more special than anybody else. So it starts from the very, very beginning. He's a young boy. He has a terrible home life. His dad beats him, beats his mother, cheats on his mother. He's scared all the time. And then it further progresses into like his high school years, how he was really good at basketball, blah, 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 all this stuff. And it's just like if you don't know who David Goggins is, like just Google him. He's an ultra marathon runner. So he runs over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles all the time. And he also, hold on, I'm going to get see if that works. There we go. I wanted some video to play in the background of David just, on the live stream. So if people are watching, so it's not just me chit-chatting away about David. So David's a crazy wild man, okay, and he's intense. But yeah, he's an ultra marathon runner. He served in the military for like almost, I think, 2 decades. Held the pull-up record, all this stuff, and he's insane. And how he states he can do this is that he's went into the deep depths of his mind. And he has just felt the struggle, and he understands that his body's going to be able to figure it out and recuperate, and he can be stronger and better than everybody else just because he can control his destiny through his will, which is crazy. It's a crazy book, and I think it's a really useful book because it just makes you realize that there are a lot of areas in your life that are lacking or could be improved to a large degree, especially when this guy is running on. He went through Hell Week, which is like one of the hardest weeks, I believe, as a Navy SEAL. I think it's Navy SEAL, I'm pretty sure, but if not, it's the Marines. Either one. I can't remember. Pardon me, it's live. I forgot. He ran on broken legs, so he just taped his legs together to keep them like stiff until they went numb. And then he could just kind of run. So, like, this guy's also, like, he wasn't this amazing elite character this entire time. He had peaks and valleys. So, like, he graduated high school or whatever, and then he gained and became, like, 330 pounds. But this guy's only 6'1", 6'2", and now he's, like, 190 pounds. So he had failed himself and lost his way, and then gained it back and lost, I believe it was an absurd amount of weight in like a month or two. It was like 110 pounds or something in like 3 months or something like that. Something crazy. And he just willed his way into it. He just rode a stationary bike like while he was studying for the ASVAB to pass the ASVAB, and like it was insanity. It's a really cool book, and it's just you think hey, is this guy like Chris Kyle, where he like embellished a lot of things? Because you get that, like, you're like, is this guy crazy, or is he crazy in telling the truth, or is he crazy in lying, or what's going on here? What's this fellow thinking? And they wrote a book, and I'm pretty sure they fact checked everything about this book, and I highly recommend the book. I got the audiobook, and if you want the audiobook, there's other tidbits in there with David talking, like in between chapters. He'll like kind of expand on what's going on in the chapter, what he was thinking at that time and stuff. So I think it's a really valuable version of it. But one thing I was let down about this book on the audio version is that he's not reading it the entire time. Neil deGrasse Tyson read his entire book on Audible, but David can't. Come on, David. You say you run 100 miles all the time, and you wake up at 3 a.m. and jump in some cold water, but you can't read the whole book? Come on. I want to get shouted at by you for 15 hours. Come on. You can do it, David. We know you can do it. So that's something that let me down a little bit. But besides that, the book's extraordinary. I do recommend it, especially if you do it through Audible. You know, you get a book a month or whatever. Yeah, you get a book a month with the trial. And yeah, it's cool. It's really cool to hear this guy's story, just because it's so absurd. And he wants to put himself in difficult situations all the time. And he's 41. And he looks, he's just in incredible shape now. And if you look at him, Google David Goggins and just look at him before and after, and you'll just be like, wowed. It doesn't even look like the same man. So that is David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. Don't forget to subscribe. I go through books all the time. One of my favorite mediums. I also go through movies, news, documentaries, all that stuff too. So don't forget to subscribe. Let me know if you are thinking about getting this book or read it or listened to it and what you thought down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to review us on iTunes. That will be deeply, deeply appreciated. It seems inane, but it helps a lot. Trying to grow the podcast as big as possible. So that will be deeply, deeply appreciated if you review us. And it just takes a few moments. Leave a thoughtful comment down there, and that's it. And you can follow us on all the social medias as well. I will be doing 1/1000th of David's regimen. But yeah, there's a lot of useful stuff and a lot of inspiring stuff inside this book. So I highly, highly recommend it. So that was it. Can't Hurt Me is available now. So check it out. I highly recommend it. This has been Matthew Benjamin with the American Movie Podcast. Thank you so much, folks. Deeply appreciate it. Until next time. Bye-bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye-bye-bye-bye.
After all, someone has to pay for the lap dances for the big guy.
He's joking around. Real